Gentlemen, this is General Greene here at islandproject.com. God bless you. Jesus Christ is Lord and is King of Kings. And this is my starkest warning yet. This is my starkest warning yet. And all glory to God. I'm going to speak from the heart, from the bottom of the heart today. And I want you to like and share. And sincerely, please pray to God yourself and use discernment, because Skynet has been launched. And we're going to talk about that today. I'm going to discuss what I can, and I think you guys can all figure it out. You're pretty smart. And you can make decisions moving forward as this panopticon surveillance police state is rolled out by the authorities and Washington, D.C. as we speak, as we saw leading figures like Larry Ellison and Sam Altman and others bring to your attention that they have launched what they call Stargate. The first thing I thought when they said that was like, Terminator 2, Skynet. Yeah, AI Panopticon Surveillance State Minority Report. Cameras in every street corner of which you'll be on your best behavior, according to Larry Ellison. Self-driving cars that will restrict your access to various locations where you can or cannot go. A technocracy controlled by the oligarchy and who possess unfair advantage in technology that they're now forcing on the American people and global civilization at large. Again, I want you to really use discernment, and this is no joke, really is my most stark warning. And this is not a surprise. Of course, we have known we've been headed this direction. I predicted that they would do this. In 2020, I said that the next sequence of events would be this, right? I told you they're going to cure cancer next, right? That's what I told you, because at any means and cost necessary, they're going to sales pitch the American public with their ultimate goal. And it's the topic I'm not allowed to talk about. Now, somewhere along the lines, the AI and the simulations they're running decided that at all costs to humanity, they must move forward with the topic I'm not allowed to discuss. It's really all I can say. Do not comply. Use your discernment. Know spiritually that these people are building the horror of your worst nightmares, which could only be described as hell on earth, which will eradicate all freedom, all sovereignty, and all liberty for you and your families, not to mention other grotesque things that I can't mention. So again, none of it's a surprise. We've known all this for years. Why do you think we're building islandproject.com? Why do you think God came to me in a vision and said, Christopher, General, you're going to build this for his people. Build the digital Noah's Ark. And we got a head start. All glory to Jesus. We're now in control with all of our members, over $30 million of no bank debt, unconfiscatable assets across multiple beautiful islands in Hawaii. And of course, what you see behind me today, our $6 million, again, no bank debt, Park City Booyah, Deer Valley ski lodge in the best locations in the world. High capital appreciations and capital gains as hyperinflation continues to crush and cripple the middle class as they send you into UBI and universal basic income. Massive opportunity in the best locations in the world. Income producing assets. Cash flow producing assets. And of course, a world-class, decentralized community of like minds, God first, faith first individuals that truly are changing the world as we aggressively expand now internationally. Ladies and gentlemen, your life depends on the actions that you're taking today. And so let me just kind of run through the news. There's been some positives as well. I did predict that Trump would free Ross Ulbricht, who had been unfairly treated and sent to prison for his role in the Silk Road. Trump did follow through with that. That's an amazing development. That's so positive. I know his mother. I've interviewed her many times. She's an extremely passionate woman. And I am just so happy that she finally gets her son back. And so that is a great move by Trump. 1000x. God bless you, Ross. Amazing. So, I mean, let's at least applaud that. There is some good news today. Again, you're not bullish enough. And I'm going to tell you why you're not today. And that was my video yesterday. You should check it out. It's an amazing video. You're not bullish enough in crypto. You're not bullish enough in Bitcoin and blockchain. You have no idea. It's going to be up only all year long. And I'm going to tell you why. Up only. The entire year, skyrocketing. All freaking year long. Millions, billions, trillions are flowing into crypto right now. Major institutions, corporations, the oligarchs, BlackRock, they're all in. And I'm going to tell you why. It's just going to be pumpity, pumpity, pump. And time is running out for you to get in. Here's why. They cannot onboard the American and global population masses to this transition, to the Skynet, to the Minority Report equivalent, what they call Stargate. Notice that even the word Stargate sounds like you're in prison. What? Skynet's one big net. It's a prison, like in Terminator 2. Stargate locks you in, right? And they're promoting it. And we'll talk about that in a minute. But this is a $500 billion pre-planned investment by the global cabal and the elites that they're building out, and they had already had this planned years ago. So you need to understand, it's not a new development. They're building out infrastructure in Texas first. I suspect they will also be expanding to Arizona as well. And this is where they will build this deep learning, AI madness, human takeover event, panopticon disaster. Okay? And again, they're applauding themselves for it. This is only good for the elites. This is what you must understand. The only people that will benefit from the Stargate prison is Larry Ellison, is Sam Altman, is the global cabal, the same people seated behind Trump during inauguration. Mark Zuckerberg, Elon Musk, the list goes on and on. And again, there's some good and bad happening now. But my point I'm making about crypto, I know spiritually, God's already told me, but I know spiritually and consequentially based on how the global elites need to onboard now the masses, right? They're onboarding the masses into crypto and blockchain now and Bitcoin. And you're welcome. Bitcoin has now overtaken the entire planet and the world. I told you that was going to happen. It's been my major prediction for 10 years. I told you Bitcoin would overthrow governments. You're welcome. Mission accomplished. I've been proven correct once again. And now I know spiritually that it's going to be up only in crypto all this year. And the reason is they got to create excitement for the onboarding, right, with intention. They got to create pandemonium, and they got to create an up-only scenario to excite people so that they think it's a good idea to, again, move into their pre-planned, mastered, simulated artificial intelligence event, of which they were always leading you this direction. I mean, you're not going to build an onboard. Like, conversely, Trump and others and the rest of the cabal, even if Trump's not aware of it, let's just say Trump's, not aware of what they're doing, right? They can't onboard the American masses and the global populations without pumping crypto higher. Otherwise, no one would want any part of Larry Ellison's panopticon. So they got 1000x it. This is what you need to understand. This is why we're all going to continue to get much richer. This is why every single property that islandproject.com owns on the digital Noah's Ark will continue to skyrocket as a byproduct of hyperinflation. This is why our investments in Bitcoin and other crypto assets continue to soar. This is why we are a multi-billion-dollar blockchain launch here at the Digital Noah's Ark, because it is the only way they can onboard you. And I knew this years and years and years ago. A blessing, and almost can also be argued even as a curse. But I would say mostly a blessing. to have that forward guidance and forward knowledge ahead. So what do you all need out there? All you beautiful angels, you God-fearing, faith first, I love you, man. We are riding in the second coming with Christ on his return, and we have already won and declared our victory in the name of Jesus. But what do we do now? What are you going to do? I'm going to tell you what you're going to do, and you know this is what you need to do because the Holy Spirit is instructing you with the same instructions that I have been given for his people. And that is, you're going to need tools, folks. You're going to need decentralized, organized, freedom-oriented communities. You're going to need wealth creation in this environment to protect you and your families. It's just a tool. You're not going to take your millions to heaven. Okay, nobody cares, but you're going to use it as a tool to support and protect you and your families along with me in this journey. We're going to save souls along the way. Our most important mission statement. We are going to continue to expand worldwide with multiple flagships and billions of dollars invested across continents. And we are going to build opportunity and hope and joy for like minds and those of you wonderful people out there, as we've already done. Again, all commanded by God. And our power comes from the spirit world. It comes from Jesus. It does not come from anywhere else. And this is why we were granted humbly the immense blessing of forward-looking knowledge. And it is why God gave us a head start. Again, we knew that this was coming. Geopolitical events, I believe, in the new golden age that Donald Trump has declared, which, by the way, golden age itself is a very interesting term to use. It is Greek mythology, right? Notice now, we're all getting a declaration of peace now. And I told you this was going to happen. It's almost like the Savior is here. The American people worshiping. They believe that all problems have been solved. And I told you, Donald Trump, when he was elected, would move in. He would declare peace in the Middle East. Boom! Ceasefire in Gaza. How did the general know that? Boom! Trump. Major story today, threatens Russia with immense sanctions and other countries working with Russia unless the Ukraine war comes to a grinding halt. I completely expect Donald Trump to solve the problem as predicted. Might not happen overnight, but it will happen very soon. And then they would declare economic prosperity. They're even calling it themselves a new re-industrialization. The artificial intelligence supernova is what they're calling it. AI will solve all of your problems. Cancer will be eradicated. This is the golden age. And then Bitcoin would take helm and soar to millions and millions of dollars, like I predicted. How did I know? How did the general know? Because our power does not come from ourselves, but comes from the spiritual world. And so we must be very wary. We must pray steadfastly. We must be more in the Word than we ever have before. The elites have greenlit. They have foretold, and they are now rolling out the red carpet of fire. And we know where it leads. Eternal separation with God. Hell. You have a decision to make, ladies and gentlemen. Will or will you not comply? Will you bury your head in the sand? Will you submit to fear and tyranny? Or will you rise with the general? Will you organize with the general? Will you deploy with the general? Will you stand tall with the general? And will you change your lives and the lives of those around you? And will you become the leader that I know you are? Trump also has removed neocon John Bolton's Secret Service detail. And I wouldn't be surprised, he says he's now very disappointed because Iran could get to him. Well, we could argue that Bolton and others who have been hating on Trump, quite frankly, all this time, and I've met John Bolton, I know him, I've interviewed him multiple times, I know all these people. Every single last one of these people, I have first-hand knowledge, and we could argue John maybe had something to do with the events that almost took Trump down, right? So Trump is moving swiftly. He's moving dynamically. I mean, look at inauguration. Looked like the Godfather showing up. His wife, Melania, she's got the hat. I mean, it was dark. Like, these people are coming for their enemies. This is the equivalent of Michael rolling in to the Italian restaurant for the job that they didn't suspect he would finish. They pull him back in. That really famous scene in The Godfather where they strap, the instrument to the back of the toilet and he comes out blasting. I mean, that's the same vibe I got from Melania. Dark. And the rest of the Trump family, of course, and just the sternness in the eye of Trump as he delivered his inaugural speech. You could see that there's a anger in the eyes and a stoicness. Also, Trump is in process now of rounding up 11 million plus undocumented. This will include schools and churches. It can also include hospitals and funerals and weddings. Okay, this is a complete change from the policies of the Biden era. Trump ain't holding back. Guys, I want you to understand, I mean, notice how the pendulum all of a sudden swinged 180 degrees. How's that even possible? Like, the mainstream media even likes him now, likes Trump. Notice that. The mainstream media is like, oh yeah, we're coming around to you. It's all good now. I guess we weren't against you before. Global leaders like him all of a sudden. It's really strange. We've gone from Donald Trump's, 1,000 indictments, and he's going to be sent to prison, to now he's worshiped by everybody. Isn't it interesting how the flip of the switch, that happened? Jamie Dimon is also warning that the stock market is inflated, and he also says he's quelled his beef with Elon Musk. He's calling him the new Einstein. This is what the Trumps have also called Elon Musk. I don't agree with that likeness. I think Elon Musk is not Einstein at all. I mean, Einstein was not a publicity showman, Barnum and Bailey stuntman like Elon Musk. Einstein was a cerebral genius, much kept to himself, and was not, again, out there in a very palatable way. I've always likened Elon Musk much more to Howard Hughes, who was very smart and was arguably a genius, but was also a publicity madman, stuntman, publicist. That's how I view Elon Musk. I think it is not equatable to Einstein at all. There is a lot more deeper, detailed layers I'm not allowed to go into regarding this new platform that they just released, but just know everything that they did to you in the past is now going that direction, and they're not going to stop. Also, Trump will come after, I'm being nice, any officials that don't comply and enforce the record 11 million plus deportations of undocumented. So anyone that doesn't enforce it at a official level will actually be prosecuted and sent to prison. That came out earlier today from the Washington Post, from the oligarchs' papers. The oligarchs own everything. The media, Jeff Bezos owns all the companies, all the technology, right? He's got Amazon, all that kind of stuff. The rockets, they're in space, plus they own media. It's just one giant oligarchical monopoly, right? You know, there's no rules. Just you're allowed to just have 20 businesses that influence all of society. So again, the first thing I thought when they announced Stargate was the obvious. And that was that it's this. Skynet. Skynet. So the American people are cheering on their own tyranny, their own destruction. And it told us, in end times, in the last days, most people would be deceived. Most people would be fooled. They would not know that the Antichrist was who he was until much, much later on. And everyone, including even the elect, of course, would be deceived. And only few with discernment, steadfast in prayer and on their knees to God on a daily basis that are thinking critically would be aware of what was really going on. But again, outside of what we already know is happening spiritually, I ask you the question, what is it you do? Again, the whole goal of islandproject.com, our platform here at AMTV, has always been to empower you to pivot, leverage, and profit. In fact, late last night, Bitcoin was on display in all of Las Vegas in the Sphere. You're welcome. I was right. Bitcoin is now the most significant asset in the world. It is more important than US fiat trash dollars. And because of that, you're not bullish enough. Again, I'm extremely bullish, but I was even thinking yesterday, which is why I produced that video, I have underestimated the bull. In fact, I actually think sentiment's pretty low right now in crypto. I don't think a lot of people think, well, I don't know, is the bull run done? So I think the sentiment's actually not very good, which is very, very bullish to me. If I look, for example, at coinmarketcap.com, fear and greed is at 6.6. That's interesting today. It's not anywhere near pandemonium and mania. It's not anywhere near the euphoria stage at all. And I'm telling you, this year will be the euphoria stage. It will be the pandemonium. Case in point, why did Donald Trump launch his cryptos? Signaling it's the most important event of the year. One is to cash in, arguably. Two is to onboard the general masses into the revolution of Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. So the solutions for all of you are very simple. You need to grow wealth. You need capital gains. You need to grow your income. You need privatized parallel economies and ecosystems like the Island Project. You need private keys as we tokenize our multi-billion-dollar portfolio. Even a 30K investment, if it 30Xs, makes you a millionaire, by the way. And I have members all over the world with up to $1 million in islandproject.com. Again, you can go buy a used car for 50 grand. It's a depreciating asset. You're not going to tokenize it. You'll lose money. It doesn't really provide that much value outside of just going from A to B. Or, you could put in 50 grand into the Island Project, get cap gains, long-term growth, income distributions, some use, plus tokenization, and you might 30X, 100X, or 1000X, which I believe we're going to do, the Island Project token launch. Not financial advice, but we've done it before many times. I'm the guy that got Bitcoin right? So this is where we're headed. My hair's looking kind of crazy today. Looking kind of crazy. See, even my hair is up only right now. So this is my starkest warning yet. Also too, I encourage you to go live the best lives that you possibly can. And that's what Island Project is too. It's about living boldly for God. Okay, organizing boldly for God. being the best that you can be, the best physical shape that you can be, the best financial shape that you can be, the best leader you can be for your families and your friends and your churches, to be the best representative and example that you can showcase to the world. And don't tell me it can't be done. Stop telling me it's impossible. Get your head out of the sands. Again, my greatest weapon is not just Jesus, number one, but two has been something that all of you have, a cell phone. Literally. This little device, as I'm sitting on the couch last night, made me my first million, made me my first 10 million, made me my first 100 million, and is now sending Island Project to billions and billions of dollars. I'm assuming all of you have a cell phone, right? You do realize access to information, technology, and finance is now completely democratized and decentralized. If you've been paying attention, you took any of my advice in the last 10 years, just bought a little Bitcoin, you're a freaking multi-millionaire, for crying out loud. My number one pick now is my own company where I'm mostly invested, where most of my capital is, where all of myself, my father, our team, our members around the world have invested profoundly into the number one guaranteed, unconfiscatable, no bank debt asset class, fully owned and privatized by a God faith first community with all of the features of traditional real estate ownership, married with the best asset in the world, Bitcoin, and then making a baby that makes the 1000X little cutie that you're gonna hold in your arms. And that's what we've done. So don't tell me it can't be done. There's more money to be made in this up-only crypto parabola, which we haven't even seen yet, and Donald Trump's promotion of Bitcoin and crypto and memes and real-world assets and tokenization than there's ever been in the history of the world. They're all merging you with AI next. You understand that, right? So it's a guarantee. It's a guarantee you're going to get rich. If you have a portfolio, if you're diversified, and most importantly, you're not taking too much risk, and you're in no bank debt assets. The no bank debt's going to be very important. God told me to build it with no bank debt. And keep in mind, we could have 100 properties today if I used any debt at all, right? You typically only need, when you're doing these deals, we just put 10% down. I could have 100 properties right now. No one says that we couldn't use a little leverage in the future when the timer is right. I'm just pointing it out. What we own is unconfiscatable. No bank debt assets in the best locations in the world, in the best places in the world, period. The markets are highly leveraged. I mean, Michael Saylor, I respect him. I think he's a great, interesting, businessman, very successful. He's highly levered. All he is leverage, right? He issues bonds of debt, takes all the leverage from his company, and then buys Bitcoin with it. It's been a very good formula, but God forbid that ever goes the other direction. And there will be a point that there is the dump at some point. And the stock market specifically, I believe all ETFs, stock index funds, most of the pensions out there, which are all bankrupt, will collapse in the not too distant future. And just like Los Angeles burnt to the ground, and a lot of people won't get their insurance money, you won't get your money back either. And you're at your pension, because they'll collapse. Public pensions, firefighters, police officers, teachers, all those great people, many of you out there, you ain't gonna get it back. You won't, even if it's just hyperinflation that steals all of your money. And then the pensions will collapse, and then the private pensions will collapse, and the banks will collapse. And that's why they're onboarding and forcing the transition into crypto, which I told you that they would always do. And we knew that they would always do, because that's their plan, man. That's the agenda, don't you know? And that's how I predicted the lockdowns in 2020, and I fled the mainland. I'm like, okay, yeah, they're gonna shut everything down, I'm out. And that's why I told you exactly what was gonna happen now. So, again, gotten it all right. Dominated beyond belief, because it's not from this world. We're not of this world, it's from God. Give God all the credit. I know I come on camera and I have a lot of confidence, but it's God. So listen to what I'm telling you now. Now is the mass onboarding of the American public and global populations worldwide into cryptocurrency blockchain, into tokenized real estate and tokenized assets. It's gonna rip your freaking face off this year. If you're not in, you will be broken poor, and you will be forced on universal basic income, and you will be forced into the panopticon that Larry Ellison and others are building. You will lose liberty and sovereignty and other forbid terrible things are going to happen to you, I'm not allowed to talk about. Everybody has told you open and in the open what they're going to do. I showed you on camera, I'm reading a new book for the second time. As again, I've studied all of this as a professional for years, but Ray Kurzweil at Google, who's considered one of the leading, if not leading minds in the world in AI, artificial intelligence, neural network technologies, like what Elon Musk is building. His latest book is The Singularity is Nearer. His first one was Near, now it's Singularity is Nearer. And he just lays it all out, how they're gonna basically integrate you guys with what I told you they're gonna do. And it even says in the title, when we merge you with AI. So again, this is how you know cryptocurrency is up only. If you're a Christian, listen to what I'm telling you right now. Listen to what I'm telling you. I'm telling you it's a guarantee that crypto continues soaring because this is what the elites want and this is what they design. And they're not going to be able to onboard the people into crypto in Bitcoin and blockchain and tokenization unless it's up only, unless the media and CNBC and CNN is able to put stories out like average Joe makes $10 million in Trump coin. Average Joe makes his first million in Ethereum. I think Ethereum's bottoming here, by the way. Average Joe makes $100 million invested in a diversified crypto portfolio and also owning Melania. So they're building a narrative. This is what I want to understand. This is why I'm telling you that Trump really is, in this case, actually he's got a really significant plan here along with his advisors. They're just going through that process. They're leading the horses to water. They're going to create a mania, euphoria, pandemonium. They're going to make us much more rich, which we're all going to cash in on, not with dollars because those are crap, but with blockchain and real assets. And we're going to continue to dominate worldwide. And we're going to continue to connect our network into places like Tokyo, booyah, Singapore, booyah. Okay, we're moving got a couple surprises. Dubai, booyah. Okay, Bali, booyah. Thailand, booyah. And this is not just real estate. And we got an ecosystem of Jeeps. We'll have an ecosystem of yachts. We're going to have an ecosystem of private jets. And you will not have to comply to the system if you're a member of islandproject.com. That's what we're building. If the system says you need something to travel, you won't with us. If the system says you need something to get UBI, you won't need a UPI because I'm going to make you freaking rich independently. I'm going to give you monetary sovereignty because God put me on that mission. And you're going to have power in the real asset world when almost no one else does. Again, I've never expected to, onboard the masses, and I've never wanted to. That's never been the agenda. Just like Noah's Ark, we are only onboarding the select few, the chosen, privileged in God's eyes, and he's made that decision. As my father and I carefully review every applicant, and we turn a lot of people away, and we tell you straight up if it's not for you, because it's not for everyone out there. Again, you are in a world now of extreme danger. You are in financial danger. You are in, can't really talk about all of it, but that's all I can say. From every area, from finance to the word I'm not allowed to use, okay, to everything else, everything. This is just one giant setup for Skynet. And that's where it's going. And that's why we've got the Space Force now. And that's why everything's happening up here now. Okay, all this has been going on for years. It's not new information. That's why AI and politicians are being worshipped as the new God and the Savior. It's gonna cure our cancers. Oh, oh, wonderful. Ah. But they can't even get the jackass astronauts off the ISS. And Jeff Bezos is still bald as a bat because they don't have any cures. And they can't stop the fires, guys. They don't have the technology. They're stupid. But Larry Ellison and everyone stand up there. Oh, this is going to be radical new technology. It's going to be customizable for everybody. It's going to cure all the, cancers, blah, blah, blah. It's just going to be wonderful building this panopticon of, this surveillance state will put everybody on their best behavior, just putting cameras in every home and data mining and surveilling everybody in their self-driving cars. And they just love it. And the only ones getting rich are them. You should too. Again, do not let these evil bastards do what they're doing to you. You get rich. You take control. You stand up. You join liberty forces like the digital Noah's Ark. You execute at islandproject.com right now like your life depends on it. Minimums are going much, much higher. It's your last chance to hit those tiers for our existing members. Click the button buy now at islandproject.com. Fill an app. You can fund directly ACH wire transfer, debit or credit card. We also accept and prefer crypto. If you're going to onboard with crypto, reach out to my father at 808-442-2934. That's 808-442-2934. We can provide you with our private wallets. It's a great way to do that, especially with your gains. You want to take profits now. Again, I'm bullish. It's up only, but you want to take your profits, okay? And you want to secure it in the sure thing with no downside, which will also 1000x you and your profits. Again, it's the sure thing. This is what we have predicted. Now, tokenized real-world assets and real estate will be the #1 investment in the world in 2025. You're going to find everyone moving into it. Everyone in the world is going to start copying the general. Here's the good news. They can't compete with us. No one in the world has built a portfolio like this. No one can. No one would even be willing to do it because Wall Street and the sharks could care less about you, and they're only selfishly interested in themselves, and they would never build a community like we've done. That's, you know how much hard work that is? What we've built, the amount of personal time, personal investment, the dedication that my team and my father and I and all of our members have to each other. I have to be in shape just to do this, honestly. I have to be completely in steadfast prayer 24/7 with just the immensity of the wonderful and amazing responsibility that is. No one on Wall Street would ever build something like this to protect you at all. And they will destroy you in their index funds and in their fake paper stocks and in their fake ETFs and all that managed product BS, and they will eventually dump the stock market at some point, and they are going to run it freaking dry. And you're going to be crap out of luck, just like people in Los Angeles, just like people in Lahaina were, just like North Carolina, which those elites have already forgotten about. And they're not even addressing it. And so understand what I'm telling you is the truth. You have no other choice and no other option but to onboard. And honestly, we're the only ones in the world to do it. I mean, you're going to see this basically be the whole system moving forward, of course, because I predicted it. But even if you didn't join us, then I would be doing the same thing for yourself. Get out of debt, buy real assets, decentralize and diversify in multiple locations, okay? Build private ecosystem, parallel economy, communities, get very rich, create cash flows. So you have cash flows coming in, capital gains, and make sure you have unconfiscatable, no bank debt, real assets that you own. We're even going to hold gold in the blockchain launch once we tokenize. Because again, there's nothing else you can trust right now. Nothing. Wall Street's completely securitized, it's completely on leverage, and it's completely on debt. And the only way they can reset the system, Trump's even saying it, he's going to get rid of the debt with crypto. He's already said that. I told you, they're going to create a new system. This is the new system. You understand this is the new system. And then the debt won't exist anymore. The problem with that is it'll hyperinflate the old currency. It's going to hyperinflate all of you and your families out of true ownership of any asset. And I told you and predicted this, that all prices, especially the best real estate and real assets, will continue to skyrocket. Even Jamie Dimon said he doesn't think inflation is going to get tamped down at all. The tariffs that Trump is doing is positive, creates more inflation. Inflation. You won't own any real assets because you won't be able to afford it. The only way to own it, even for you youngins out there, is fractionalization. That's what we've designed. Just like Bitcoin's fractional. You can own $100 worth of Bitcoin. Some people don't even know that still. You don't need to buy $100,000. You can own $1,000 worth of Bitcoin and participate in the same up-only gains. It's the same with our real estate portfolio. It is a diversified basket of the best properties in the world with no bank debt, focused on Hawaii, beautiful Utah. I mean, take a look at this for a minute. Take a look at this. Check that out. Park City right there, dude. Deer Valley, a little hot tub right there. There it is. There it freaking is. Up only. Up only. Take the risk. Be bold. Be bold, like our custom painting there, the skier. Take some risks. Live the big life, it says there. I love that because there's danger in that photo or that painting. There's danger in it. There's 1000Xing. There's diamond nuts. There's balls. There's diamond ovaries. That's why I got it. Because again, you got to remind yourself. And again, money's an illusion, folks. Money is an illusion. You can make $1 million today if you put your mind to it. You need to join islandproject.com to do it. You can make anything. It's not real. Donald Trump 10x'd his net worth in a day with his meme launch. And again, it's not going anywhere. I would almost guarantee Trump's meme coin is the top meme and top outperformer this year. Everyone's like, oh, I think it's going to go down. No, I would guarantee it'll be bigger than Doge. That all year long, it'll just be about Trump and the Trump pump. I mean, honestly, it kind of looks like a steal right now, 38 billion, undiluted market cap. Again, this is the direction of the economy, ownership, replacement of fiat, transference to the new Stargate system, integration and merger of artificial intelligence, and then the mass panopticon surveillance police state minority report, which is going to make your life suck as they roll you into 2030, and they already have their agenda. I will also tell you there is going to be an EMP this year, guaranteed. God's told me that, so there will be an EMP event. It'll only be there to scaremonger and fearmonger y'all. Don't be scared and don't be in fear. It's just going to be there for more control. And that way the elites like Larry Ellison and others can move in and say, hey, this is why you need us. This is why you need these security checkpoints, right? Just like after the Patriot Act, so I got to go through the scanners and stuff, right? And then they'll solve the problem that they instituted and engineered and created and pre-planned and rolled out on their own. So I'm telling you right now, they will do that. And if they ever need to tamp things down, all they do is launch that little brief EMP, bring down the system, bring down the grid, kind of like the digital equivalent of an Arctic blast that's currently hitting most of the northeastern states right now. And even parts far south as like Louisiana, I think I'm even reading right now, or some parts like that, I think. Bourbon Street, snowing, something like that. It's all part of their plan. So you have to understand, a lot of you don't understand how AI works. AI is a simulation that has already achieved sentience. That's why it's able to outperform human beings in the game of chess, in the game of Go. That's how it can manipulate public's perception and behavior. It's in full control of your financial markets, even crypto right now. Crypto is AI. That's why you need to own physical assets you control that you have some sovereignty over, because you don't have any sovereignty over algorithms, guys. Only the elites do, like Larry Ellison. They have unfair front-running advantage. Okay, you need to understand this. So the algos, Sam Altman's technology, ChatGPT, Gemini technology, all the AI has already figured out how to manipulate, move, and coerce the masses the direction that they want in a perfect playbook of deception. Thousands and millions of steps ahead of human psychology and emotion. And now it will force, through that manipulation, the transition into the reset that I told you they were pushing you towards for the last 20 years. So they're a million steps ahead of you all. You do understand that, right, y'all? This technology is, I don't want to give it too much credit, but in the rooms of the max, as a matter of national security in the boardrooms, they've already been there with a laser, going over, and the simulations have already determined how to achieve their objectives over all of humanity. You do get that. So it's a guarantee where we're going, and we know here's the beauty of it. All can be revealed to you in the spiritual realm through prayer and with a relationship with Jesus. I noticed Elon Musk also said on X, when Trump had his official account on Twitter get a gray check mark as the president, he said, the return of the king. See, they don't hide it. No, the only return of the king is Jesus, not a politician. So the elites aren't hiding it. They're not hiding their fake savior worship. And yes, we are in a Greek mythological occult golden age, and it's going to be up only, and this is how you're going to make millions. And yes, the world is pretty dark, but there's hope and there is light and there is truth. And what I'm saying, and again, have full, steadfast emotion and conviction and confidence in the King. I mean, Jesus Christ is King. Do not have fear. Just organize in a material way, pivot, leverage, profit, join like minds, and put your money in real assets with no downside and no bank debt, with Christian billionaire ballers here at the Digital Noah's Ark that are fighting for you life and limb, and is their life's mission and mission statement. It's why I'm here. It's why God created me, was for this moment. And it's why he's empowered me with soon to be billions of dollars worth of capital as we expand around the world and beyond, as we build our liberty network of true freedom and decentralization. And we actually build the new America in the 1776 Declaration for Christians. And it's kind of like setting sail on the Mayflower a little bit, right? Hitting Plymouth Rock. And, you know, in order to protect ourselves as Christians and believers in God, we have, not everyone's a Christian in our project. We got to organize, folks. We got to get together. We got to have faith in God. We have to believe in ourselves, because we know God gives us power. And I'm living proof of this. Again, don't tell me you can't do it. My cell phone has made me more money in the last 20 years than any single other instrument. Nothing fancy. It was just God, tons of hard work, blood, sweat, and tears, in a stupid little cell phone, which used to cost like a couple $100. Now they're like $1,000, and they put you on an infinite payment plan. Because again, their goal is slavery and debt and control and surveillance and removal of your rights. And that's what the elites want, to protect themselves. Do you think Larry Ellison wants you rolling around being free? You think they want you owning assets? You think they want any competition? No, they want everything for themselves. They want robots protecting them and their empire. They want a panopticon to put your ass on your best behavior. And it only benefits them, not you. How does that benefit you? It doesn't. He even said that instead of like police chases, just send a drone. That way the drone's always watching, the AI's always watching. And if you do anything that they determine, based on their own subjectivity, right, and what they think that serves the elites, they'll then send out the minority report drone your way. God bless the Second Amendment. You're going to need it. One of the advantages of America. So, you're not bullish enough. This is the time to get rich. This is going to be the up-only golden age era. This is a spiritual war that you are fighting. You have limited time to onboard the Island Project. You need to get in. Fund today immediately. You can do it directly in Portal by signing your docs in less than 5 minutes. Fill out to the best of your ability. You can fund directly, ACH, bank wire, wire transfer. If you're rolling over your 401ks, your pensions, your IRAs, your Roths, call my dad at 808-442-2934. That's 808-442-2934. He will help you along. It's very easy. We have third-party providers like Preferred Trust will help you roll over those accounts. We have about 40-50% of all assets now in self-directed IRAs as a part of islandproject.com. Has many, many advantages for all of you tuning in, and will empower you outside of the system so you don't just own some, funny money stock that's about to collapse and go to zero. Again, there's going to be bank runs in the United States at some point. There's going to be bail-ins as they reset the system. They are going to have to create a crisis at some point to do the reset. But right now, and you're in a good spot right now, it's just going to be up only. It's going to be Trump pumping. Why are they going to do that? It's psychology. It's math. The algorithms and the AI have already determined that the only way they can onboard the American people and global populations is by really creating a greed factor too, so that you'll be open and you'll promote and you'll submit to what they have planned for you next. And I just told you what that is. Again, that's where it's going. So they're not going to dump crypto right now, because that would make people very pessimistic on the reset. It's going to be up only. It's going to be a massive pump. I expect Donald Trump, mark my words, he will declare victory over the war in Ukraine very soon. He will declare victory, I already predicted this, with Chinese relationships, with Xi Jinping. He will declare peace and prosperity in the gilded golden age and the Trump pump, and he will declare liberty pump, and he will declare the pumpity pump. And that's what's going to happen. And that is the only way they will transition most of the deceived, not coherent, complying, no discernment masses into the new system that they've already built. Later on, there's going to be war, more war, disruption, right? Banking collapse, stock market dump, all these things. But you're not bullish enough. Again, a lot of people thought, and even originally I thought that this was a possibility. We're going to get this sell the news. I actually think it's the opposite. This is the rip your face off rally into infinity. And honestly, you're not bullish enough. Like again, my picks too at school right now, you're not bullish enough. Again, I'm not sure if you're aware, you're supposed to buy low. Okay, my pick RSR, this thing is gonna go 1000x. It's a Sam Altman, Peter Thiel backed investment. What do you think it does? All the stuff I'm telling you about right now. It's an asset token. That's what it is. Real world assets. You can package real estate, gold, stocks, bonds, ETFs, stable coins into it. And it's designed by the same elites in control of this world. Because again, Satan is in control of this world. God is coming back soon, the rapture, the second coming. But this world, Satan, he's the one running the show. So again, be optimistic, don't get down on yourself. Go to God for your power. I even forget this sometimes. Sometimes I'm trying to drive the thing, and I'm like trying to take control, and I'm like, what am I doing? Why would I want to drive this when God can drive this? You understand that, right? And then I get back down on my knees. I'm like, oh, I'm so sorry, God. I'm a sinner. Like, how dare I try to drive traffic? Like, you do it. Tell me where to go. And then boom, he tells me where to go. Boom, all of a sudden the obstacles clear themselves. Boom, the mountain goes this way and moves right out of my way. And we just keep sailing. Boom, more properties acquired. Boom, records are broken. Boom, more millions come in. All because of God. So you must understand you have that same power and that same victory in Christ that we all have. So go to him, ask him. You got a problem right now? Go and pray and be like, solve it for me. Present me with the opportunity to solve it. Give me a tool to solve, to overcome the obstacle, God. And he will. Guaranteed. He is King of Kings and he is Lord of Lords, and is more important now that we're steadfast in him than ever before. You will be faced with decisions. Life or you know what in the future. You will be faced with compliance on multiple levels. I urge you from the bottom of my spiritual heart to never comply. Do not comply. It's going to be hard. The victory is ours. Declare your victory now. Pivot, leverage, profit, get rich with islandproject.com right now. 1000x yourself, you and your families while you still can. Fund your first 150, 500, maybe 1,000 units today. Call my dad at 808-442-2934. Book some use. Make a reservation. Come out to Hawaii. Enjoy the properties you own. Live the best life while you can. Be the example. Tell your friends. Show them. Be charitable. Be optimistic. Be strong. Get in physical health. Do it all along with myself and our team, and live the best 1000x existence in life you can while you still can. And be proud when we are brought before God and we are judged, and know that you accomplished your mission in life along with the general, and ride with me in the second coming of the kingdom of Christ. And know that we've already declared victory. We have already won, and this is God's plan. And I stand before you today honored to serve. Up only this year. Up only this year. See you in Tokyo, booyah. See you in the Bali, booyah. I see you in Thailand, booyah. I'll see you in Singapore. I'll see you in Dubai. I will see you in some surprise locations we haven't announced yet, as we truly build the revolutionary 1776 New America Digital Noah's Ark for freedom and liberty outside of the system, in a private parallel ecosystem and economy. God first, faith first. The digital Noah's Ark. Links below. I love you. God bless. Please like and share this video. This is an extremely important, stark warning and message. This is where everything is going this year. You are not bullish enough. If you're not participating in the crypto tokenization revolution, you will be left behind. You will be sent into poverty. You will be broke. This is where the elites want you. You will be forced on universal basic income. They will then launch, as they're in process now, a surveillance police state panopticon, and they're coming for everybody. They've already made the decision. This is the direction of society that they will manufacture, that they have simulated, that the AI has directed. These are not people that believe in God. These are people that believe in attempting to live forever. They believe in a completely different agenda. And this is why they're taking you this way. Not to benefit you, not to benefit society, not to benefit the average man or woman tuning in. It's to benefit and protect themselves, as they grab all the world's resources themselves, and they form a giant cabal oligarchy where they hold 99.9999% of everything and give you freaking peanuts and tell you that you've won. Do not let them to own all the real estate. Do not let them to have all the yachts. Do not let them to have all the Learjets. Do not let them to control all the real assets. Do not let them, like BlackRock, to have all the Bitcoin and the cryptocurrency and the blockchain. Get yours now while you still can. And that's not our mission. Again, you're not taking your net worth with you to heaven, but these are going to be the tools that will protect you and your family moving forward. And it's why I've been put on this earth. And I stand before you as a spiritual vessel into infinity and eternality with the King of Kings and our God. And I stand with you all. We are all connected in this beautiful space. We are all connected as a part of God. We are all a part of the kingdom. And now it's reminding me that I had a dream last night where I even saw a glimpse of what it looks like. I saw profound, shrouding, shining light, the most powerful light, but it didn't hurt my eyes. And I was asking and praying to God, and he showed it to me. And it was almost like a supernova in itself of just bright, white, beautiful light, strongest I've ever seen, but did not hurt my eyes. And he showed me as much as he could and as much as I could handle as a man, and he showed it, and he showed me the glimpse. And in that moment, I felt connected to all of you and everyone. And I felt connected to everything that was of God. I felt my brother. I heard him. He was inside of me. Everybody, all of our loved ones in heaven, everyone connected, all of you tuning in this moment. It was all a part of the same. And he told me this specifically. He says, Christopher, you will only find peace in me. Be still and know that I am God. And know that I am God. And know that I am God. He is the I am. I love you all. See you in the clouds. We're getting called up soon. But while we wait, because no man knows the day or the hour, we are building the digital Noah's Ark, and we're taking this to freaking trillions. God bless you. I love you. Jesus Christ is King. And I am General Greene. Links up here and down here. Call my dad.